Hello everyone, how's it going and welcome back to a brand new Satisfactory livestream. Today is hopefully the final part of working on our iron factory, where essentially we are trying to compose one of the, if not the biggest, factory I have ever made in Satisfactory. And all will be explained in just a moment, but if you guys are tuning in on the live stream, welcome, and if you guys are watching on the VOD, welcome as well. I am going to try and be live at least 3 or 4 times a week, not including the week after next week, because I'm not here. And the week after that, I'm also not here. And then the first week of July when I'm also not here. But other than that, we're going to try and do at least 2 or 3 streams per week. Especially now that we are actually approaching the end of our best recipe series, which I know is a series that a lot of people have loved, which is great. I mean, the support on that series has just been, like, remarkable. So thank you very much, guys, for that. But sticking to the subject at hand, this is essentially what we are planning today. Welcome, Drake. First person here. I'm surprised, but there we go. Hope that you're doing good, man. Watching over on Twitch. Yeah, I'm disappearing for a couple weeks, going on holiday. So that should be enjoyable. But yeah, this is essentially what we're doing today. What I'm doing is I'm going over all of these recipes here, our main recipes that I am making in our next playthrough series. And everything that involves iron, for example, our iron wire recipe, I'm collecting that, copy and pasting it over here, and then we get to see how many of each item do I then need to make. So it is pretty fun to do, it will make more sense, and off camera I actually doubled everything, because the original plan, in case you guys missed my last stream, which don't worry if you did, no pressure, we were making 10 ballistic warp drives, 10 nuclear pasta, and AI expansion servers, biochemical sculptors, and 20... No, cancel. And 8, cancel, 4 plutonium fuel rods. But now I'm doubling everything. So 20 ballistic warp drives, 20 nuclear pasta, 20 AI expansion servers, 20 biochemical sculptor, as you just saw down there, 8 plutonium fuel rods. We are also making, in theory, we have got enough resources to make 6,000 rocket fuel, which is about 360,000 megawatts worth of power. I don't know if I'm going to do this yet. Not because I don't want to. Well, no, not because of that, but purely because that is a lot of liquids and a lot of logistics. But it could be fun. I don't know. We'll see. We'll definitely see for that one. And battery-wise, we're making 1,000 batteries. This is for our drones. I'll be using quite a lot of our drones for our next playthrough. I think that'll be good fun. I don't want to use as many trains. I still want to use a couple trains here and there for like smaller logistic journeys, just for a bit of ambiance, bit of life in the factories. But I don't want to rely on trains. And regarding trucks and tractors, no. No. Maybe one. Again, like I might build like a small, well, I know I am going to build a city area. I do want to have some trucks and tractors going around the city just to give it some life. Same with those factory carts as well, but again, I don't really want to be relying on them because I just don't really like using them that much. Also, the very first thing that I do generally want to try and do today is some GeoGuessr, because it's been 2 days since I've last done GeoGuessr, and I kind of want to try and do it again today. So let's zoom in the map. We're going to be starting off with US states, and then we're swiftly going to be moving on to European countries, which I'm a bit more concerned about, but I think we should be fine, hopefully. Also, regarding my sickness, I am better now. I don't look better. I mean, I look, well, to be fair, I always look dead inside. I notice whenever I do like my webcam videos, I look really depressed. This is just how I look. I'm not depressed. Well, I'm not depressed. Luckily. I will be drinking lots of water, though, because I'm still a bit poorly, but a lot better than I was yesterday. Like, yesterday, I was bad. I was going to stream yesterday, but no. Oh, well. So instead of streaming, I actually uploaded that video, like, when's update 1.1 gonna come out? And I got lots of support, so thank you very much, guys, for that.
Vermont, New York,
Let me take my headset off. I can't listen to audio, unfortunately.
Utah,
Utah? Why have I just forgotten where that is?
Kansas, Missouri, Virginia, South Carolina,
I've got a feeling I'm not going to get 100%
Arkansas.
on this.
Michigan,
Don't know why. Michigan.
Colorado, Maryland,
Oh, that was close.
Pennsylvania,
I believe this one's Pennsylvania.
Massachusetts,
Massachusetts.
Minnesota, Nebraska,
Nebraska. Yeah, that sounds about right to me.
Florida, South Dakota, Iowa, New Jersey,
Oh,
Dakota,
I did Delaware.
Montana,
No, screw it. That was a very bad round anyway.
Delaware, Nebraska, Massachusetts, North
Massachusetts.
Carolina, Nevada,
Nevada.
West Virginia, Colorado, Arkansas, North Dakota, Michigan.
Yeah, I'm definitely
Missouri.
like not as sharp as I used to be, but I think again it's just because of the sickness. I just can't even focus properly. Misery.
Minnesota, Mississippi, Hawaii, South Carolina, Ohio, South Dakota, Oklahoma, Vermont,
Vermont.
Indiana,
Indiana.
Louisiana,
I knew it. That's a shame.
Oregon,
Oregano.
Texas, Arizona,
I meant to.
Idaho,
That was my bad. Next, no, no, stop. I can do this. I will do this. Everyone knows? Yeah, this one. Kansas.
Indiana, Maryland, Nevada, Arizona, Alaska, Utah,
Utah.
South Carolina, Michigan, Idaho,
Yeah, you are.
Rhode Island, Hawaii.
I can
New
do this.
Hampshire, Montana, Vermont,
Yeah, because that one's Georgia, isn't it? Vermont.
North Dakota, New York, Wyoming, Nebraska,
Nebraska.
North Carolina, Louisiana,
Now that's Tennessee, we said, wasn't it?
Wisconsin, Washington, Connecticut,
Connecticut. I believe it's that one.
Mississippi, Virginia,
I'm second guessing
Kentucky,
everything.
Delaware,
Except for Kentucky. Kentucky's the easiest one to guess on the map.
New Mexico, Texas,
Well, no, maybe Texas.
Massachusetts,
Massachusetts.
Maine, Arkansas,
Kansas.
Tennessee, Illinois, West Virginia, Georgia, Colorado,
I almost went Florida by accident because of my mouse.
Ohio, Oregon, Oklahoma, Florida, New Jersey, California, Pennsylvania, Missouri, Iowa, South Dakota, Minnesota.
I do want to try the European one though. I generally don't know about this. Monaco.
Poland,
Did I do this recently on stream?
Italy,
Like I might have.
Netherlands,
I don't think I got. No,
Czech Republic,
I did. Yes, I remember talking to you guys about
Cyprus.
the Czech Republic.
Moldova, Switzerland, North Macedonia, Iceland,
Islande.
Kosovo,
The Balkans are the middle countries. Yeah, I mean a lot of people don't know these. To be fair.
Austria, Slovakia,
Austria, Hungary, Czechoslovakia.
Ukraine,
There we go.
Croatia,
The way that I remember it, between like Slovenia and Slovakia, is that this used to be an empire called Czechoslovakia, Czech Republic, Slovakia. There was another empire called Austria-Hungary, which was Austria and Hungary. So those are those four countries very easily deciphered between one another. So it's just small tricks like that. I mean, the
Slovenia.
Balkans is just an absolute clusterfuck, but oh well.
France, Russia, Spain, Romania,
Romania.
Serbia, Lithuania.
See, these ones I always struggle with. Is Estonia... I know that Estonia's up here. Then Latvia, Lithuania.
Bosnia and
That's just annoying though, isn't it? It's fine.
Luxembourg.
Let me just get this out the way with.
Ireland.
Ireland.
Liechtenstein. Belarus.
So we can get onto
Latvia,
the satisfactory stuff.
San Marino.
That's what I'm here to do today.
Vatican City State. Sweden.
Sweden?
Montenegro.
Whoa.
Portugal. Andorra.
Andorra? Andorra?
Malta. Greece. Estonia. Norway.
Norway.
Denmark. Finland. Germany. Bulgaria. Albania. United Kingdom. Hungary. Belgium.
Pain. Pain of the highest order. So now what we're going to try and do, getting back onto the satisfactory stuff. We now, first of all, need to zoom out. There we go. So let's try and get all the items that we need for our iron factory sorted over here. Just so I can try and see what I actually need. And I believe we've done everything for our batteries, rocket fuel, which requires 0 iron. Nuclear power plants. Biochemical sculptor. And yeah, now we're up to the AI expansion server. But let's start off with the wire. Why are we doing that? I don't know. Oh, dearie me. Wait. I think I've already done that one. Have I not? I think so. Yep. Okay. Luckily we checked that, otherwise I would have been making an extra 500 wire there for literally no reason. Oh. You know most of the Balkans that were in World War I and World War II, but the new ones, yeah, the new ones are quite confusing. And depending on what Balkan country you're in, they don't recognize other Balkan states. Like, I'm pretty sure that Serbia doesn't recognize Kosovo, for example. I wonder if any other countries don't recognize Kosovo. These are states, right? I love how we're producing the exact same amount of status, yet I've somehow got a slightly different amount of water. Okay. Cool. Anything else? No? Okay, everything else here is good. Let me just double check I didn't miss anything. Lovely. That was the wrong one. Okay, maybe I'm definitely still not 100% well yet. I'm losing my mind. Oh well. Luckily, last night I was actually able to sleep, because unfortunately, like, whenever I get ill, like, properly sick, I can't sleep, unfortunately. Because I struggle to know the difference between real life and, like, a nightmare or a dream whenever I'm sick. So, for example, not last night, but the night before, I woke up thinking that I was in a trench in Estonia. Don't know why. But I literally crawled out of bed because I thought I was on the front lines fighting the Russians. And it sounds silly to say out loud, but I generally thought I was there until like maybe 20 seconds later I then realized I was in my bedroom. So luckily that's now stopped. I can sleep properly, which is great. I haven't taken any medicine. Maybe I should, but no, I haven't taken anything. If it continues, I normally do, but no, not yet. Okay, now because we're doing heavy modular frames, I'm just going to copy this entire thing across. And I know that we do need to require some limestone in our iron factory, but it is what it is. I don't mind doing that. Importing some limestone. Or some concrete, I don't know. Because of course all this limestone is making concrete, so yeah, we'll see. Yeah, you're pretty good there, I think. Nice. Yeah, any sickness is annoying, yeah. Not nice. But luckily, it's It's got a lot better. Oh well. What's next? Nope. None of that. Yes, you. Is that it? Wow, the nuclear pasta recipe is simple. Really. Well, well, in comparison to everything else, it's simple. What was this again? Cable. Okie dokie. Cable. Nice. So that's now everything done except for our ballistic warp drives. And look at the size of this recipe. It's massive. Like, the next biggest recipe after this is the AI expansion server. And that's about half the size of this. It really is just an insane recipe, but oh well. The recipe I've got to make anyway, so I might as well do it. Control C that. Lovely. So it looks like I'm only making 3 sets of heavy modular frames. Unless there's another recipe I haven't yet seen. Oh, what's that? No. Okay, another set there. Okay, another set. I should not have jinxed it. Damn it, man. So in this one recipe, we are making 3 different sets of heavy modular frames. It's insane. Like this, I know I keep saying it, but the ballistic warp drive recipe, man, it's mental. It is nuts and then some. Anyway, seeing a good amount of cable here, that would be pretty fun to make. Maybe. Potentially, I don't know. Iron plates, damn. Is this for nuclear pasta? Oh, yeah, sorry, singularity cell, yeah. I just recorded a video about the singularity cell. That should be coming out within the next, maybe week and a half. Okay. Apparently I haven't got a category for iron plates. Whoops. There we go. That's actually rather interesting. Out of every single recipe I'm doing in the game, only one of them requires iron plates that isn't like a non... Wait, how do I even phrase this? I'm making a lot of things in the game, but this is the only recipe where iron plates is like the only iron product in the recipe. Because we are making iron plates with some other things here, like to make our reinforced iron plates. But here, this doesn't go into anything. It just stays there, which is kind of weird. But oh well. That's our iron plates. Now what's next? You. Oh. Modular engine. Okay. Having a very quick look at this, we do need rubber, we do need plastic, but in my opinion, I think it'll be a lot easier to build a plastic, rubber, fabric facility, probably petroleum coke in there as well, and then import a little bit of rubber and plastic over, and then make all of this in our iron factory. I feel like that would make sense. It's a pretty chunky recipe, but I feel like it would be a good idea. I'm gonna sneeze. No, I'm not. That's annoying. I'm gonna chuck you in over here. And yeah, modular engine. Lovely. Line you up with that. I mean, this is quite a lot of resources, but again, as long... oh dear. As long as we're That's not right. Surely that should be 75, right? Pretty sure that's wrong. Let me just double check. Yep, thought so. So essentially double all of this. 112.5. 36, 37.5. And all of you lot are 75. There we go. Lucky we saw that. That makes like 0 difference though. I mean, it's fine. And you guys are all fine there as well. Okay, good. And that's our modular engines. Moving on now, we've got our motors. There we go. I was going to say, actually, it's been a long time since we had a motor recipe. However, having said that now, if we just recall that previous recipe, I'm pretty sure there was motor... Oh, yeah, there was motors here. Yeah, okay. Where is our motors? I can't even see any. Have we not got any standalone motor recipes? That can't be right. I've definitely used motors for something. There's no way I haven't used a single motor. No. Really? In case you're knowing what I'm looking for everything that's highlighted in green, because that's all my iron-only products, essentially. Wow. Yeah, not a single thing so far, just requiring motors. Oh, there we go. That's what I've just figured out, though. Wow. And that's what I've just copied and pasted across there. Here we go. We have got some more motor recipes. That is rather surprising. I would have thought there would be a lot more motor-only recipes there. But no. No. So yeah, it does look like we are going to end up producing quite a lot of iron-only recipes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 items. Damn. Okay. Should be pretty fun though. And was that 30 motors per minute? It was 30 per minute. Great. So, oh, hello. So now let's move on to the heavy modular frames again. The item that I most certainly jinxed by saying that I didn't see any of them, then suddenly there's 3 of them in the same recipe. That's the wrong one. No. There we go. Lovely. Oh, is it here? Yes. That should be good. Might have to extend this out a little bit, because again, this recipe is a rather big one. But it's also relatively important as well, so it's good to have it. Next, we need 40 motors per minute, which is 10 more than our last one. Oh well. Also need our 80 status down there. No. Status, where are you? There we go. I knew that I definitely had a lot of status. I knew that, luckily. I believe, again, don't want to jinx it, but this should be our final heavy modular frame recipe. Yep. Okay, good. Didn't jinx it that time, luckily. Increase you out to there. Now, I wonder, can I increase all of you out to there? Oh, I actually can. Did not think I could even do that. Now we know. There we go. Then move you in to there. Grab you lots. Move you back. Okay, it's definitely doing what I want it to do. Which is a surprise within itself. Go. And for you lot, again, just chuck you over there. Fantastic. Now, I shouldn't need too much more of that. Hope. Please. Please. Thank you. I know it doesn't have to be pixel perfect, but for me it has to be. Just what I'm used to working with at this point. Another 400 cable just chucked on there. Chucked on the fire. Okay, now we've got reinforced iron plates cable, and that is it. Nice. Nice shot. I've got to play some Wii Sports. I know I can't play Wii Sports. I sold my Wii. Of course I did. Wii the console, not like as in I literally sold my own, because that wouldn't be morally correct. Although it sounds like something an OnlyFans content creator would do, or a Twitch streamer. There we go. The Wii was a fantastic console, though. I really did enjoy it. Reinforced iron plates, you. There we have it. This is everything that I'm going to be needing in my iron factory, where we are going to be producing wire, cable, stators, reinforced iron plates, rotors, only one rotor recipe, okay. Rotors, nitric acid, steel beams, automated wiring, heavy modular frame, versatile frameworks, iron plates, modular engines, and motors. Okay. That's exciting. I don't know if there's really much of a point counting up the amount of iron that I need for this, because it's not massively relevant, I don't think. Also, it's going to take way too long. Same with the water as well. I mean, limestone, it is what it is. I'm not really too fussed about that. One thing I do want to try and do today, though, is actually start to plan my build for the iron factory. Since now I know roughly what I need. I think it's you, isn't it? And I still want to try and build this over in the Dune Desert. Wow, that's a ping. No fuel? What? I thought you were automatically supposed to be producing fuel, right? There we go. Yeah, no, nice. Let's just wait for it to power up. I have got a video coming out about portals, by the way. It's a remake of the video that I released about 9 months ago. I essentially want to try and make it better than that previous video, because I've learned a lot since then. I've got some time to experiment with the portals, and I feel like I'm at a stage now where I can produce a better video than what I did previously. Let me in! There we go. I think portals are okay. Again, I do give my opinions in the video. I feel like the portals are actually just, like, literally just okay. They look good, but they're relatively expensive. You unlock them towards the very end of the game. And if you've got a bad PC, like I do, no offense PC, then it's tricky, to say the least. Right, so how am I going to plan this? I suppose, yeah, I do want it to go that. How tall do we want it to be as well? Because we are trying to build a pyramid. Further down than that, I would say, for the base layer. We'll go with that. How wide do I need it to be as well? I mean, this might be a bit of a difficult thing to do, to try and plan a build, like the exterior of a project before the interior. Because when has that ever gone right? For anyone ever? Well, I know it hasn't gone right for me ever, so that'll be interesting. And again, I do also want to try and have some drones here as well. That's the plan. There we go. So I want that to be like the very corner. And there should be quite a lot of foundations here in the middle. I'm expecting this project to be relatively large, although it's not going to be gigantic. It's still my biggest project ever, but I don't think it's going to be that big. Famous last words before I regret everything I've just said. There we go. We can probably do 2 more, maybe? Let's see. Actually, no, because it might go... Yeah, okay. So now I've got to see how wide this is. Then do the exact same in that direction, essentially. Simple. I think it's about 100 wide. Maybe... No, actually, it looks a bit less, to be honest. Maybe... Oh, for fuck's sakes. Maybe about 80 wide? Doesn't look like it's 100. Hello? There we go. Wasn't working. Let's just try and get up to the 50 point. Which is you. Okay, so you are 50. Congratulations. So it's 90. Okay. 90 by 90 is a lot. That does feel like a lot. So let's just go with that, honestly. This is 10, I believe. 11. That's fine. Make things a bit easy and just get rid of this for now. 20. 30. 40. 50. But yeah, how's everyone doing today? Hope that you guys are doing well, both on YouTube and on Twitch. 60? I think that was. 70. 80. I will double check it, but it should be 90 hopefully. Now. 90. Been a long day here, it feels like. I mean, to be fair, it is 3:30. The day's almost over. Woke up a bit late, but again, like, it's one of those days, isn't it? It's a weekend anyway. Okay, so you're the 50th one. You are the 50th one. Oh. $25. Brilliant. Okay, so that is 90 by 90. Let's just fly it up vertically here. So I could, like, when I build this properly, I am gonna probably push it back here a little bit. Doesn't need to be this far forward. Yeah, everything else seems fine though, in all honesty. I'm happy with that. In theory, I could tuck it away in that corner. I don't know if I want to. Because what I could do is Iron Factory. No, cancel. What about if we build two pyramids? Like one huge one, which is this one, and then another one, just for something? That could be interesting. I don't think I want more than two, though. Let me try and get rid of these hands here as well. There we go. Nice. And I wonder, are you going to poke through the surface here? No. Oh, actually, you might do. No. Because if you don't poke through the surface, then nothing else will, essentially. Because you're the tallest point in this area. Although maybe one of those spike things might do. That's actually something I really hope they do introduce in an update, where you can just get rid of those spike things, because they're so annoying. I can understand why they're there, because they do serve a purpose. But in all honesty, I do find them a little bit annoying occasionally. And when I say the spikes, I mean these things. That's just that curve everywhere. Maybe these bigger ones you can't get rid of, but at least these smaller ones, because again, like, when you're trying to build something and they just get in the way of your factory, it can look a bit weird. I know some people who are far more talented than I can, like, build their factory around us and almost make it like a featuring asset as part of their factory. But again, I'm not one of those people, so I can't do that. There we go. Thank you, by the way, for all the support in yesterday's video. Glad that you guys liked that. Again, there wasn't really supposed to be a video yesterday, but I couldn't stream. So, there was. Now, I think we go out by 9 here, and that should be it. Maybe not. I still want to try and fly down there, then come back. That should be a bit easier. Also, my office got invaded by ants this morning, which wasn't great. When it's one ant, it is what it is. When it's 100 ants, no, it's an invasion at that point. I wasn't very happy with that. I don't know why they were all here, though. They were all hiding inside, like, the crack between my window being on the inside and the window being on the outside. It's quite annoying. But they're gone now, though. That's for sure. So again, when I do end up building this for my playthrough, I'm probably going to move it in that direction, east, by maybe 5 foundations. Yeah. Because the plan is, I don't want this just to go... Oh, definitely not with that. I don't want it just to go vertically down like this, because that's going to look really boring. So I'm probably going to end up doing some sort of, like, pathway going around here. We'll probably paint it in concrete. And I think that will end up looking pretty decent. And then we start the actual pyramid part here, where we're probably going to end up using this. Although, what color am I going to go with yet? I don't know. Like, white makes sense. And gold at the very top. It would be like that, then that. The only annoying part, though, is that you can see it looks a bit weird. Like, that pattern looks a bit weird. But, oh well. Fine. Okay, looks like I was actually able to line it up perfectly there. That's good. Great. So like I was saying, let's try and focus on what we're going to be doing down here first. Because I don't just want this to be floating, obviously, and I don't want it to just be a massive wall, so let's try and think about what we're going to do. First of all, that looks quite nice actually. I wasn't really planning on that, but let's see what I could do here. So have that stick to there, that's fine. Have you come around, except I actually want to try and paint you carbon steel. That looks nice. Have you go around to there. You're going to be concrete, I think. I'll be happy with concrete. Do that over there. Do that over there as well. I suppose we could go with this, but I don't actually want to. What I do want to try and do, though, is actually get rid of that just for now. Place another... Oh, there we go. Row there of those concrete foundations. And then, we're going to go back into walls here for just a moment. I suppose I want to try and do this. Something like that, at least. Might even look better like that, and then just paint it grey. I don't know, like, what am I trying to do? I don't know what I'm trying to do. That's the beauty of it, really, isn't it? And essentially, everything in here is then going to be glass. That. There we go. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. So then this will be where our very first... Deary me. This is going to be where our very first floor goes for our factory. I'm definitely still sick. Nah. Oh, well, tough. So we're going to plop that in there. Paint you white. There we go. And that's going to be the start of the pyramid, I suppose? It just looks so weird in that colour, even though that's what pyramids used to look like before what we know them as today, really. Sure. We'll keep it like that for now. It does look a bit weird, but we've only just started though, so I feel like that's kind of fine, if I'm honest. See, now I feel like a concrete wall here actually kind of needs to go here. We do one there, and one there. I'm having second thoughts about that thing in there. What if it was just a one gap? Would that make it look a bit nicer? Yeah, I do quite like that. We'll do it, I suppose. Do it. Do the raw. Chuck you over there, chuck you there, and then chuck you round there as well. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Then again, for you lots, we'll just do that. I think it will end up looking quite nice eventually. Just as of right now, it's a bit weird. Very weird. Like, it almost doesn't even make sense. Which sums up the majority of my projects, to be honest. And to be fair, they normally turn out fine, so... yeah. Keep sticking with it, I suppose. How do I do you lot? First of all, get rid of that. Chuck that there. You guys in there as well. Although, are you now going to poke out of this? You are. Of course you are. Right. What if I do this? How about now? Better. Looks fine here as well. Okay, so I think we'll definitely stick to that then. Good. And get rid of this. Get rid of that. Of course, again, when I build this, lots of blueprints will be happening. Lots of blueprints will be placed down there as well. Stairs. Have we got stairs? I haven't used these things in God knows how long. Why aren't they here? Architecture? Where are they? Are they gone? Did they remove stairs from the game? Unless I'm, like, blind. I mean, I am, but... I swear they were an organization before. Maybe I am losing my mind. Unless they're in the awesome shop. Well, no, I mean, you do get them in the awesome shop, but I should already have them, shouldn't I? Everything here should be in my inventory. Maybe they are gone. It won't be in management. I don't know. Regardless, that's fine for now. I still want to try and figure out this wall though. Like, how am I going to do this? Oh. Okay, so that's perfect, but do you appear through here? You actually don't. Well done. Congratulations. Brilliant. I can then get rid of this. Add that back over there. Go into foundations. No, foundations. And do a bit of that. You can then go the entire way around there, unless you appear through there, which you actually don't. And now, because I'm doing that, I can probably just re-add you there. And this could be like a pedestrian walkway where we can just, you know, chill and walk around. Is that wall gone there? It is. Nice. Don't want that to be gone, though. We've also got one underneath here as well. I don't know if I'm going to use that one, though. Still be good to have. So yeah, you can then continue out to here. What I'm then going to do is get rid of this. This might look a bit over the top, but bear in mind, if I just have a pyramid, it's going to look really boring. And everything that I'm building here is going to be a blueprint. So all I've got to do is just plop it down, and there you go. And for now, actually, I'm just going to put that down there again. So it should look good, and it shouldn't take too much time to do. recolor you there as well. Also, I'll probably show this. In case you're wondering why sometimes I or click something with my middle mouse button, then instantly click off of it and access my menu, it's because, let's say, for example, I was building something requiring trucks, right? Don't know why I would be. But now I really want to select Ada, stop, Ada, stop, Ada, stop. But now I really want to try and select a wall piece. It's instantly going to boot me back to the transport tab. I don't want it to do that. But if I select a wall with my middle mouse button or the scroll wheel, then back off of that, it now automatically brings up the wall tab, so it just makes it a bit easier rather than just having to scroll up and down here constantly. So, yeah. Just makes life a bit simpler, and that's my main goal. Right, I think that's fine. Although a part of me wants to change you maybe to a door. We'll see. Definitely get you guys out here as well. There we go. You see what I mean? It was on the transport tab, but because I then clicked this, it went back onto the architecture tab. So, again, just makes things a bit easier though. I think I want you to be a bit darker. That. Yeah. Although, do I want to paint this? I think it looks fine if I do paint it. It looks like there is a couple of wall pieces here that I do need to get rid of. Oh, yeah, that was going to go anyway, to be fair. But what I do want to try and do here anyway is do that. There we go. So that side's all fine. You guys, I haven't yet painted. There we go. That side's already done. Fantastic. I think it looks quite nice. The way it just juts out like that. Decent. It's decent. Let's just continue everything about like maybe 20 foundations down over here. And hello. There we go. And get you guys 20 foundations down. And what did I say about this? Oh yeah, I'm just going to leave it here, didn't I? Yeah. That's fine. Although I was thinking about getting this down here. How would that look? I mean, you can hardly even notice it, but I kind of still like it though. I think it was better the way it was before, and that's fine. Just because you do something doesn't necessarily mean that you have to stick with it. Yep. Chuck you lot bats, chuck you lot bats over there, not back over there. No, back over there. Me no England speak. Now do the exact same thing with these lot over here. Great. I wonder how tall it's going to end up being. I've got a feeling it's going to be like comically tall. It should be fairly pointy at least. That's the plan. It should be pointy. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I feel like having that there is definitely going to break up the repetitive pattern of the actual pyramid itself. So that's going to be quite nice. I still want to try and do something in here, though. How would this look? No. I mean, I could angle it, obviously, but I don't think so. What about this? Yeah, I could see myself liking that. It's also new in update 1.1, which is obviously not going to be coming out to the main game anytime soon, so let's just stick with this. Apparently it's November. Update 1.1 is coming out to the main game, which is ridiculous. That's like a very far release date from now. Unfortunate. But let's see, you never know. If they're going to work on improvements for the main release, I'm not going to be upset with that. There we go. And chuck you lots into here. Pretty good. A few more now. So, yeah, that's fine for that layer. Do I want to add anything else? I mean, again, I'm going to have a few of them, so I suppose that's going to be fine. It'll break it up. I'll have it like every 10 foundations, I would say. That should be fine. Anything else? We'll see. We'll come back to it. Something else that I do actually want to try and do is just for now, get rid of that. And add in you. And paint you just regular concrete, because you'll be... There you go. What would you have been? Carbon steel, I think. Don't particularly want carbon steel there. Chuck you lot over here. So yeah, just bring you down over there. That's fine. Extend you lot there. And this is the part that I don't necessarily know what to do with. Like the main pyramid part, it's a pyramid. I'm going to add bits and bobs to it. I'm going to add places for drones and all that. But this is just a concrete wall. Like, how do I make this look decent? There we go. Let's chuck that over there for now. Okay. First things first. You're, I think, just going to continue straight down to there. Hello? Hello? That should be fine. I suppose what I could do in here is some patterns. Wow. So again, if there's like a 10 foundation gap, I think what I'll do is leave one space along there. In fact, let me just do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 here. There we go. Just for now, get rid of that. Okay, that's fine. Lovely. And continue down over there. Brilliant. Right. Now we've got this gap over here. where we essentially need to design something for it. I suppose one thing that I do want to try and go with is if I start off with you. Yep, nice and shiny. That should be the middle. Yep. Then do one down there, one down there. How would that look? I know it's extremely basic, but sometimes that's all you really need. Of course, we're not, like, done there. Do some more stuff. There's always more. If you think you're finished, there's always more. You have to go up by one. There, lovely. You lots underneath here. Okay, so if I... No. I was going to say if I do this again, I'm going to try and make this a bit lower, but I actually won't. Because not all of this is going to be the same height. So this is actually fine. What I will try and do here now, though, is grab you. Line you up with there. With there. Then is there a way that I could do this without it lagging? Yes. Okay, good. So that will be that. The next rather important thing to do now is to do something. But what? It's a good question, and I don't really know the answer. I could paint it all black. That could be a thing that we do. Let's see. Would that look nice? No, actually, you know what I might even do? Rather than adding in all those walls, which will cost a lot of extra resources and may not look very good, if I just paint it all like that. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I feel like the middle bit should have lights in it, though. Organization. Large billboard. And just do a little bit of this. Perfect. Okay. Now, what color do I want? Again, another interesting question that I haven't really thought about. I mean, I thought roughly about what I want to try and build here. A pyramid. That was the idea. I didn't really think about anything else to do with the pyramid, though, because... Why? That was my thought process. Why would I need to? Do it all on a stream, have a little bit of fun. I suppose we are doing that, so... Nice. That's the wrong green. There we go. feel like that would look pretty nice going the entire way around the factory. Hmm. How do I nudge up again? Oh, okay. Tell it's been a while. Oh well. Now, just thinking out loud here. What if I was to do something here, and then paint you orange? How would you look? I feel like that would actually be alright. Again, let's find out. Because it might be terrible. I don't massively hate it, but it takes away what we had before, and I kind of like what we had before. We'll find somewhere else for that, I'm sure. Yeah, for now though, that's okay. Do I want to paint everything here dark as well? Maybe not quite as dark. Let's go with chrome. No, that just look a bit weird, I think. I mean, this almost looks grey in comparison to this. What's it called? Carbon fiber? Carbon steel, yeah. Fiber, is it? Yeah, I think that would be fine. Nice, okay. I feel like that is a step in the right direction. If I was to do that every single time, it would look good. It's going to require a lot of work, though, and that's fine. As long as it's not like a silly amount of work required. And this isn't really that bad. I've done worse. And worse, a lot worse. Very quickly wondering, though. I'll do this. Then you're going to interact with that, aren't you? Oh, you didn't even place down. Okay, wow. That's annoying. I don't know if this looks bad, though. I actually quite like that. In fact, here's another idea. What if I then get rid of this, for now, and add the lights behind there? How would that look? I mean, does it even have to have... Yeah, it does, okay. I was going to say, does it even have to have lights, but that's a very silly question. Of course it does. Why would that even, like, cross my mind? And what if you continue along there? Yeah, I'm still unsure about this. I think it looks decent. So we'll stick with it. Lovely. Now, where do you line up with? Do you line up with that one? Chuck you across there. Chuck you across the living room. So you seem slightly wider than that. How's that even possible? Oh, definitely wider. Okay. Why? Luckily, I checked that before we continued with that. There. Is that better? Yeah. But now it's really wide on this side. I can't really see too much because it's nighttime. I don't play with mods at all. But if there's one mod I was going to get, it would be constantly daytime. Because I really hate night times in video games. Where unless I'm playing in the nighttime myself or my screen's on 300,000% brightness, I can't see what I'm doing. Really annoying. I hope for you guys it's not too bad. It just sucks the fun out of the game entirely. I don't know what I'm doing. Again, that's not just for this game, it's literally every single game I play that has nighttime in it. There's some games where when it turns night, I literally stop playing the game. I can't move, I can't see anything. Even though some games do look better in the night, but I don't particularly care much about that. If I can't see my character, then... point. There we go. So that is about... yeah, that is one foundation. This is 1 and a bit foundations. Ow. I don't even know how. I think it's okay. Now, where do I put these signs? I could put the signs, like, inside of there, which could look quite decent. Let's see. Organizations. Organization, even. Organizations. I'll go with you. Now, do you overlap? I think I can overlap you, but for now, this is fine. Oh, no, you're fine. I do love this new copy and paste feature, though, I must admit. Ooh, that does look quite nice. No. I was playing some City Skylines today, and I don't know why, but the game is very different from what I remember it being. I know I've been playing the game now for, well, a very long time. It just doesn't feel like what I remember it being. Not as fun in a way. It's still very enjoyable. Like, whereas before I could play it for like 7 hours, no, not 7 hours. Maybe like 4.5 hours and not really get too bored of it. Now it's like after half an hour, I'm like, yep, done. That's me off. See, I do quite like that. It looks mysterious. I do like mysterious looking things. And I suppose the very final thing that we'll do, for this part at least, is grab you for now. Change you to... what should we change you to? I suppose concrete. Yeah. And if there is anything that is below this sort of points, we're just gonna do that. There we go. And yeah, I think having this just all across the factory will end up looking pretty good. Looks interesting. Although a part of me now wants to actually increase this out a little bit more. Let's do that. I do care quite a lot about texture, I suppose. I'll say that's relatively important. Nope. There we go. Lovely. Yeah, that just sticks out a little bit more there. We'll take it. It's not even a massive difference. I've literally just increased it by one foundation, and already that does make a pretty decent difference, if I'm honest. Although that is the wrong material, so let's change that. And you're concrete, right? I think? Okay. Apparently I selected a wall there. Okay. Please. Thank you. I could have just done that, to be fair. Then paint it again. Add that there. Add that there. I don't think my throat can take too much more of this. That's what she said. Sorry. Wow, that was extremely inappropriate. I'll say it again. No, I won't. I don't think my throat can take too much more of the stream. I still want to try and get a bit more done today if I can. Do you want to give it some rest? That's fine. I like that. Now, if I was to do this... and do... that. That looks quite nice. I actually really like this part now. The more that we've... yeah, my throat's just dying now. But yeah, the more that I look at this, I do like how the yellow there does contrast with the grey and these rounded concrete beams, which I really do like. And of course, they are brand new and updated to 1.1. So I think that was quite a nice addition. We'll take that. Oh. Learn to press wrong buttons with me, the Valhalla Pickle. Yeah, I do actually quite like that. It's a little bit of colour there. I do love a good bit of colour, especially when it's like a very bland project. Because this is a bit bland, if I'm honest. It doesn't necessarily look like bad, it's just bland. Yeah, tuck you into there. I can. Okay, question. Can I do... No, okay. I was hoping if I was to press that button, it would come up with one of these, but no. I don't massively like that. In fact, I actually hate that, so let's not do it. If I just do this? If I can, hello? There we go. Yeah, that looks okay. I don't mind that. And again, if I was just to take a bit of a step back here for a minute, how does this look? What the hell did I just land on? All I did there was press the C button, and I managed to, like, slide off the edge. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I think eventually when we have quite a lot of these, we'll end up looking quite nice. One thing that I'm a bit concerned about, though, is that this is a bit too dark around the outside. So what if I was just to come back here for a moment? And just for this, like, this actual inside bit looks fine. And for everything else, what if I was just to make you a bit lighter? How would that look? Only one way to find out, I suppose. Okay, apparently I cannot select that. For the life of me. And again, even though this is black, it still looks grey, doesn't it? Weird, that. We'll take it. But again, it just... Something about it looks... Well, it is. Just... Land. Let me see here for a minute. I get rid of that just for now. Can't do that. Unless I can. I try and select you. I prefer that. Then again, I reselect this, then do that. Okay. That's kind of annoying, though. I mean, what can I even do about that gap? This, maybe? Yeah. Wow. Had to use my 3 brain cells there, but no, I managed to actually get it out. A bit more light in here, perhaps. I will rotate you, though, because it's a bit easier just to do it like this. How wide is this? It's 1, 2, 3... Oh, it's 10, isn't it? Yeah. I believe that a Mark III blueprint designer is a 5x5. I'm not going to have Mark III at that point. I'm going to have Mark... Wait. No, Mark II's 5x5. I will have that unlocked by this stage. So I can do this half in the blueprint designer. That half in the blueprint designer. And how deep is you? How deep is you? Okay, that's annoying. 13. Let's just open up the blueprint designer. I wonder how many times I've placed down this thing, honestly. Like, too many. No, that's... Okay. I believe you're 10 tall, aren't you? Okay, yeah, you are 10 high. Right. So, what can I do with that one then? I suppose I can get rid of that. Get rid of that, but that still leaves us with 11. I was to get rid of that. This would be the final layer. I'll still have some things to do here. But I feel like that will be relatively simple just to add. I think we'll go with that there. Let's just do on this side what we did to the other side. Because I think that actually looks rather decent. When I say it's the best thing I've ever built, don't know. With that as well. We can then chuck you here. Is that gap a bit too thin? It does look it, if I'm honest. Oh, we'll have a look. Of course we'll have a look. Lovely. I mean, I don't even want to know, like, the amount of resources this project is going to end up consuming. I generally do not want to know. Well, I do want to know a little bit. But it's going to be quite a lot, isn't it? But I think it looks decent. I generally do think it looks alright now. Just adding those little rays of light up there was definitely a good idea. Let me try and do the same down here now as well. By getting rid of all of you. Love that. Back you up there as well. Are you a bit darker? You're fine. Okay. I thought that was like the carbon steel there. Would it feel weird starting a new series and not having things like coated concrete foundations and signs and all that already unlocked? It feel very weird. Having said that, though, this might even be an unpopular opinion. I don't care because it's my channel. But I kind of prefer Satisfactory's early game compared to its mid or late game. And I don't know why. I just feel like it's a very nice feeling starting from nothing and trying to earn something from it. I really like it, in fact. Ignore what I'm doing. Actually, no, don't ignore what I'm doing. But I'm just trying stuff out for science here. Back. No, that's actually fine. You're a slightly different colour. See, I can notice you from a mile off. Sometimes just, no. How would you look? Nah, I don't know. You know that the way it was before is okay. I quite liked it. That's the wrong colour. No. I prefer the way it was over there, in fact. I'm going to go down to there. Yep. Oh, well, sort of. Is that right? Yeah. That's right. Oh, it almost looks wrong now. Yeah, because it is slightly off. I think that's what it should end up looking like. Yep. Okay. Now let's finish off with this corner down here. Nope. Yep. Chuck you in there, chuck you in there, and then I think one more there and one more up there as well. That's where I was like really hoping that would be. Yep. How could you guess? And with you, yeah, we come down there. Then there. There we go. Finally. No. You. Up there. I don't know if there's going to be a stream tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm honest, because I've kind of done everything I want to regarding Satisfactory. If I was to stream, I've got no video ideas in mind at all. What stream ideas? I've got a few video ideas. Okay, that looks fine. I like that. Right. Now, just focusing back up here again for a moment. Is there anything else I want to do regarding this? Let's just select you for a moment. And add you here. It makes it rather interesting here now. Quite like that. I then want to, again, add you along there. But this time, I'm not going to add the road barriers. I'm actually going to add the low barrier. Which sounds like the same thing. It's not, though. Same, but different. I don't know where that's a meme from, but yep. Lovely. Add that up there. Yeah, that looks quite nice now. See, that was such a small addition, but I think it just looks decent. If I was to add you, every two of you, you can then go there. You can choose to go there as well. Yep. That was the wrong spot. Nope. That should be the last one. I mean, I think it looks fine. It just depends on the main pyramid now, if I'm honest. Which again, I don't know how high it's even going to go. I feel like it must go fairly high, right? I hope. Deary me. I would take strepsils, but I just hate strepsils. There we go. How much more of this have I... Okay, still a fair bit to go. I might even do a blueprint for this as well. It might seem like such a minor thing, but even I think that's going to help. Blueprints do help, especially when you are doing big projects, both logistically and even just like not logistically like this. So far what I've built today has required 0 logistics. Oh well. Right. Yeah, I think this will end up looking really cool. I think so. Yeah. You've got to see the vision. I don't see the vision, but I'm pretending I see the vision. One thing I do want to double check though is like, what if I was to paint you lot, like coming up here, black? Just adds a little bit of something, right? Something. See how that looks overall? But yeah, it's fine for now. Yep. Definitely see how that's going to end up looking. But I do also want to try and add some drone ports in there as well. Again, apologies for the coughing. I could try and hold it in, but I'll just end up sounding like this. So one thing I've noticed, well, I've noticed it for a while, but it makes typing rather complicated, is I often struggle with the difference between apologize and, like, apologies. So, for example, like, I apologize for having a sore throat, but sometimes when I type it, it sounds like, no, actually, no, not like that. It's... apologies for the sore throat. But sometimes it sounds like I say apologize for the sore throat. Like I'm telling you to apologize to me that I've got a sore throat. Where, of course, that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say apologies, not apologize. Oh well. Apologize now! Even though it's not your fault in any way. Like me trying to blame the neighbor's cats for something. Even though it probably isn't even their fault. I blame them for everything. Because they're cats. Can you tell me I'm a dog person? I know it's very difficult. I'm hiding it very well. I should be a poker player. I've just realized, because of vertical nudging being an update FAQ, not update FAQ, updates 1.1, I'm not going to have vertical nudging in the main game until November, apparently. Damn. I don't know how I could live my life like that, actually. No, I'm not sure. I'm heartbroken. Even just thinking about it's making me heartbroken. Now, do I want to get rid of you here as well? Because what I could do is, yeah, do that. Then something like this. Then... How do I do this? I suppose what we could do here, just for a quick example, is get a half foundation, just like that. Boom, 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 pow. And grab you. You. Just go down into around about there. Like that. And There we go. That's always an idea. In fact, what I could even do, I could keep it like that first of all. But I could also do this. I can find it. There we go. Bit anticlimactic. Welcome, Lotus. Hope that you're doing well. Good afternoon. This is supposed to be a pyramid. I know it's a pyramid without a pyramid, but it's under construction. All about the vision. And I'm still not sure about these speed lines along the pyramid there. So, this is still going to be the base level here, preferably. Well, the base pedestrian level. Everything's going to be like one foundation underneath, I think. Actually, depends what I'm going to build. I don't know. But yeah, for the most part, this is going to be the main foundation area. And everything below here is essentially going to be used for something else. Just collecting other resources, then sending it over to the second pyramid. And you know what I actually might do? I think when I get to this area over here that has the crash sites, I'm not going to delete the crash site. Because obviously in update 1... I keep saying obviously, I don't know why I keep saying that. Because in update 1.1, you can now delete crash sites. But I feel like having this area over here, like, cornered off with, like, some glass, maybe, could look really, really cool. Having a sign saying, like, the first ever crash site in Planet Massage 2ABB. That could look pretty cool. Yeah, they are quite inclined walls. I am using... Where is it? Tilted wall 8 meters. So I'm going to try and make it as high and pointy as I can. Because I'm planning on building essentially everything here inside this factory. Wire, cable, stators, reinforced iron plates, rotors, nitric acid, steel beams, automated wiring, heavy modular frame, versatile framework, iron plates, modular engine, and motors. Which is quite a lot of items, but this factory is absolutely gigantic. So we're probably going to very easily fit all of this in here. The only problem is when you actually zoom in, you see things like 800 cable, 400 cable, 560 cable, 80 stators. So you're only 7.5? Sure. So some items are a lot more than others. But it should be fun. Look at this, for example. 1,000 cable and 50 stators to make our 50 automated wiring. I think that's the worst one. Although the modular engine recipe is quite a chunky one as well, in all honesty. Yep. I can't wait to do the logistics for this. I cannot wait. I think it'll be great fun. Now, actually, one thing I haven't yet tested to do with organization is you. I can do this. The problem is, though, how am I going to be able to hide the cable? I suppose because it's black, it kind of just ends up blending in. That could look sick. This is all just, yeah, pretty much just uses iron. There's a little bit of crude oil, a little bit of coal, well, quite a lot of coal, and some limestone. But other than that, it's pretty much iron only, and some nitrogen gas there as well. But it's very simple just to get the coal, and it's also relatively simple to get the limestone. Because what I was thinking about doing is building our concrete factory somewhere near here. It doesn't necessarily have to be directly on top of it, but depending on how many, or how large this factory is going to end up being, we could just fit it in here. Have like 3/4 of it being for iron, then 1/4 of it for concrete, and that should be alright. We've got tons of resources here. Because again, we probably need... In fact, let me just count the amount of coal that we actually need for this. 256. 536. That's roughly... Let's go 800. 800, okay. There's 2 impure nodes there. There's a couple impure normal nodes there. There's a few more normal nodes there and a couple more impure nodes over there. That's well over 800 already. So that's 50, maybe 100 meters worth of conveyor belts done, essentially. Limestone, there's tons of limestone around here. So we could probably make all of the concretes just from what we have around. That's not a problem. The nitrogen gas, I don't think is anywhere near me. But I can just get a drone. I'm making 1,000 batteries, so I'm not too concerned about that. But just like what I did for my previous series, I have to make my aluminium factory before this factory. And that's because in my aluminium factory, I'm making quite a lot of alclad aluminium sheets, which is what I then need for my Mark V conveyor belts. There's no point doing Mark IV conveyor belts for all of this, then the aluminium factory, then ripping most of this up again, then... absolutely not. Forms of transport, drones, conveyor belts, that's it. 1 or 2 trains maybe for looks. And a couple trucks and tractors as well for looks, because I do want to try and build a city, like a port, somewhere over here. I'm not sure if you saw my live streams where I was trying to build a port, but it ended up looking pretty decent. I didn't finish it. In fact, I can just show you. But yeah, I essentially want to try and build a city and a pyramid for my next playthrough, if my PC can handle it. But I'm hoping because this will all be contained inside of the pyramid, that it will be rather easy to do. But I doubt it, because nothing I ever do is easy or straightforward. It sounds straightforward, build a pyramid. Okay. Then it's taken me 1 hour and 47 minutes to build that. Oh, dearie me. I don't know how I make this game so much more difficult than it has to be. It's actually impressive. It's concerningly impressive. I managed to do it. You. But the port will end up looking quite nice. I don't know what I'm necessarily going to build there. It will be something. I definitely want to have a bunch of drones being active here. Like the rooftops of all of these buildings are going to be drone ports. So just seeing drones land on every single building, I think it's going to end up looking pretty sick. I do want to try and build a few more ships. Oh, this is just my creative world, but for my actual save, I do want to try and build a few more ships. Oh, it's on the horizon, preferably. And a few more actually in the port as well. So the plan is just to increase this out a little bit. And roughly starting here, just build a bunch of skyscrapers, essentially. It won't look realistic, but I don't particularly care about that. I just want it to look cool. So, that's the plan. I was fairly happy with how it went. I do want to try and save these blueprints, because, again, that's going to save me a lot of time when Update 1.1 eventually comes out. So I am looking forward to that. Ooh, that was good timing. Oh. I suppose it could be good for our electronics factory. Be a decent location for it. We'll figure something out. There we go. Wow. Like I was saying a bit earlier on, when I do end up building this for our official 1.1 or whatever save, my survival series, I definitely do want to try and build this back by maybe 5 foundations that way, then maybe even a couple foundations east. So 5 more foundations north, a couple foundations east. But it's mostly fine. Yep. I think we'll end up looking rather decent. Hopefully. Hopefully. Do I want to add anything else to this now? I don't know if I can do patterns. Is that what well, yeah. No, it is called patterns. I don't think I can add you guys to ramps, can I? Oh, I can. Why did I think I couldn't do that? You're wishing for the addition of a late game steel recipe in the blender, consuming iron, coal, water, and sulfuric acid to make a ludicrous amount of steel. That could be interesting. I don't know if they'll ever do it, but it'll be interesting. That's the good thing about alternate recipes. You don't have to make them, but there's probably going to be someone out there that will benefit from it. And that's why I like making the best alternate recipe videos. Because even like, I might look at a recipe and think, that looks really weird, why would you ever want to go with that? But someone might have a certain playthrough where they've got tons of sulfur left over, not a lot of corn, and they might want to do that. So. Okay, I hate that. But there are certain scenarios where there is one recipe that is far better than other recipes. No matter what playstyle you've got. It's just facts. Well. But that recipe doesn't sound too bad. I'm just a bit concerned about using sulfur. Even though from everything I've planned, in fact, I can just bring up my results now, can't I? Where is it? Let me just screenshot this, in fact. So sulfur, I'm consuming actually no, double this now, right? So 7,140 sulfur, and there's 10,800 of it in my world. Not too bad. In fact, that's actually one thing I kind of need to do. There we go. So Sam is going to be 9,200 per minute. So I'm going to need every single node in the game, essentially. Right. Okay. Fine. Raw quartz is 10,056. Really? Yeah. I want you to line up with what we have over here. Ah, perfect. So are you lined up? Okay, you definitely are lined up now. Good. You're not. Yeah. No. Good. You've set up a challenge for yourself in your new playthrough where you'll be using all alternate recipes in-game. And yes, that will include horrible recipes such as the heat fuse. Yeah. That'll be interesting. I wouldn't be doing that for the sake of sanity. But let me know what it's like. It'll be interesting. 6,890 nitrogen gas. Okay. Paul, we've got... Gonna get the calculator open for this one because I'm too lazy. When I type the letter O into Google, it automatically comes up with online calculator. I am a certified nerd. 6836 times by 2 is 13,000. $672. Nope. Next up is bauxite at 9,418. Yeah. Nice. Ethereum's next now. That's... Let's try and work it out. 3,884. Lovely. Limestone at 8,648. 8,648. Sulfur at 7,140. Copper at 18,620. Oh. Saying that though, I can almost guarantee at least 10,000 of that copper is from nuclear pasta. In fact, let me just double check. I'm very confident with that. It's probably wrong, isn't it? Because I'm confident about it. And normally, whenever I am confident about something, it is just wrong. Let's see. So 4,800 there. For our nuclear pasta. Only 270 for that? What? Wait. That can't be right. That's definitely not right. Oh no, I've made a mistake. No, I didn't. Okay. I zoomed in on the aluminium casing. What I meant to zoom in was this 9,100. I almost wish I didn't zoom in on that now. There you go, that's correct. So, that's for 20 nuclear pasta. How are you 4,800? You're 9,100, but you're consuming just double. So one of you is off. By a lot. Okay. So let's go with 120. Okay, then we'll go with 24. So you are 9,600. Not 9,100. So that's an additional 500 copper. Or an additional... yeah. Additional 1,000 in theory. Because I added all that before I doubled everything. So it's 19,600. And that then confirms that I'm using quite a lot of it on nuclear pasta. Lucky I actually double checked that, because that was actually wrong. Oh well. Chuck you guys in there as well. Next up we've got iron. How much is our iron? Probably a fair bit. 22,230. Pin? The worst one's going to be water, though, by far. 100,000. 100,000 water per minute. Damn. That's a lot. That is a lot. Oh well. Crude oil, 5,236. I got... no. I had a bit of a walk earlier, and all these beautiful flower petals were rather miraculously falling down from the trees I was walking under, and it was beautiful, but they get stuck in your hair and on your clothes. It looks a lot better in the movies than what it feels like in real life, one must admit. Oh well. There we go. So I'm concerned a little bit about sulfur. Only 3... Damn. That's pretty good. Bauxite, I'm a little bit concerned about, but bauxite's such an easy resource to collect in comparison to everything else. Because it's basically just in a straight line, so that makes life nice and simple. Although I wonder where I'm actually going to build my aluminium factory now. I can't build it in the Red Forest because it's the exact same place that I built it in for my last playthrough. And I don't want it to feel, like, repetitive. I won't do that. Paul, nah, no. Yep, so raw quartz is a concern, most definitely. And Sam is the most... No, it's not. Sam's not really that much of a concern because most of this is from dark matter residue, which we get as a byproduct from the quantum encoder. So this is probably only around like 4,000. I still want to gather all of it, but it's not as bad as what it first looks like. So that's quite nice. Raw quartz is as bad as it looks like, though. And there's nothing I can do about that. I could try and use diluted silica. Is that what it's called? Diluted silica? Dissolved silica. I made a video about this. And I suppose it was fine. I didn't want to use nitrogen. I think that's what it was. I didn't want to have to use extra iron and extra nitrogen. I didn't feel like it was like, that important. And besides, what I've got now is fine. Nothing wrong with it. There we go. That's essentially what I wanted to try and get done today, everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm going to let my voice heal a little bit, but 2 hours talking with a sore throat, we'll take it. There shouldn't be a video out tomorrow. There's probably going to be a stream. Don't know what it's going to be about, but I've kind of done everything to do with Satisfactory now that I kind of wanted to do until I actually start my new series, but we'll see when that's going to be. I don't think I'm going to stream the new series. I think I just want to record it as a video series, which could be a bit easier, but again, I don't know when to do that, but we'll see, hopefully. Regardless, thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you to Lotus and Drake. Only 2 people today, but I do still appreciate that. And, yeah, have an amazing rest of your day, everyone. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Or stream. Goodbye.